Yeah, sure.
言えたのダメだねダメよダメなのよあんたが好きで好きすぎてどれだけ強いお酒でも歪まない思い出が
Oh hi, didn't see you there. I'm 𝓅𝓊𝓇𝓒. You may remember me from such works as the videos I upload. Right. God, it's hot. I haven't been able to bloody do anything. Now I get out the fucking camera. What am I? So there was a show on CBBC that ran for 13 episodes and quickly went off the air because of low ratings. And I think there was two reasons for these low ratings. One reason I'd say is that like the show is more for like 8 to 11-year-olds, but the whole aesthetic of it is aimed more at younger children. You have the repeating shots, the same thing happening pretty much every episode. The other thing is that the comedy was kind of aimed at people older, not necessarily like 18, but like, you know, in between 11 and 18 at least. Like most of the jokes are verbal as opposed to like slapstick, and a lot of it comes down to character dynamics, which might be kind of boring and confusing for younger audiences to take in. So it was just kind of a show that kind of didn't know what its target demographic was, but I loved it and I think it was very underrated, so we're gonna go through it. So here's the basic setup of Big Babies, and we'll go through an episode that perfectly represents the natural flow of the way each episode goes. This is called The Race, and this is actually the first episode I ever saw.
Baba!
So every episode starts with Brooke saying, "Oh no, turn it over, I hate this show."
Oh no, turn it over. I hate this show. Oh, I love this.
Really?
No, turn it over.
Thinly veiled compilation show. Turn it over.
Oh, I've heard about this. It's rubbish. Turn it over.
Which obviously, that's like relatability from the start, right? But actually in this episode, they're pretending to race. They're watching a race on the telly.
I'm much faster than you, especially with 𝓅𝓊𝓇𝓒 power.
Shut up, Rocco. There's no such thing as 𝓅𝓊𝓇𝓒 power.
So Rocco's more of a make-believe type character, whereas Brooks has a bit more of a logical view on life, except when he doesn't, and we'll get into that.
Beep off, Granny. Don't even try it, Rocco. So don't you in the side.
Whereas I'll dun you in the side. I mean, see, it's stuff like that. They obviously film many hours of footage of these babies and find perfect moments to use. Like, that was perfect. And I wouldn't be surprised if they wrote in some lines based off of the baby's actions.
Rocco, so don't you in the side.
Like, the way he look at it, the way he looks like he's actually trying to drift. See, and then he lifts the toy steering wheel up like he's actually pissed off. Like, they got that footage. I mean, it's just like, it's perfect footage that fits the situation. It's almost like a me.
There's probably something wrong with the contraption control. That's usually what happens.
And it's stuff like that. Like, Brooks is a baby. It's like, even in Rugrats, like, yeah, they're babies, but they're saying words, which obviously they don't do. But the words that they use, everything is like mispronounced and everything. In this, Brooks overpronounces things and he knows a lot of words. Like, it's usually something wrong with the contraption control, which usually what happens. So the mum comes in and tells them they're gonna go to the park for ice cream. And Budge, the toy that lives in the cupboard, hears about this.
I thought we could go and get an ice creamy in the parky work.
You're having an ice cream in the park? Interesting.
Now, Budge loves any kind of chocolate sweets, we'll get into that. And that pretty much causes chaos in each episode. Then the mum takes them out of the room, and like always, the toys on the shelf start worrying about the babies, thinking they're gonna have a race. This happens in every episode.
Are the babies going to drive a real car? But they're far too small to drive. They won't be able to reach the brakes. You need brakes to stop. What if they crash? The babies are going to crash.
Yes, you're right. This could be dangerous for the babies.
These shelf toys probably haven't been out of the house much, apart from Budge, which Budge has obviously been out with them a lot, so he acknowledges that the babies will be fine. But these other toys, they just think every time the babies go out, they're gonna fucking die for some reason. Now this cat here, Major Moustache, now that I think about it, there is quite a resemblance between Major Moustache, Private Popper and Budge to Phineas and Ferb. Like, Major Moustache is like Major Monogram, Private Popper is Carl, and Budge is Perry the Platypus. Like, is it just me? Like I don't know, maybe the fact that both Big Babies and Phineas and Ferb have this same thing happening in every episode, just slightly different, is interesting. So the Major sends Budge out to make sure they don't have a dangerous race, but Budge is just concerned about the ice cream, obviously. When they get to the park, they run into the Gonch. Now, oh my god. Now Gonch, I have no words.
Just you and me.
And the Gonch! Oh, look at his wheels. Amazing.
They said it couldn't be done. They said I was a fool, but I customised my buggy. Now I've made it more cool. Diesel!
Just because it's got all that on it doesn't mean it's cooler than my buggy.
My car is very naughty. I've made it even more sporty. It can do 140. You can really feel the G4C. Stretching your face.
Hi, Gonch!
What was all that weird singing stuff?
R&B? Not that you'd know, helmet head.
They decide to have a race and the winner gets an ice cream, and it's like they were gonna get an ice cream anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But it's stuff like that that's funny to me. It's like,
Let's do this!
And welcome to the first ever Park Grand Prix. Let's meet the drivers. Brooks! It's a long race. People are saying your mother's legs aren't up to it.
Stop! Don't talk about my mother's legs!
It's a superb start from Gonch. But where's Brooks? He's right here. He stalled at the start line.
I haven't stalled, Rocco. I'm doing my pre-race checks. Dud guard, windy screen, tyre freshener, the rev counting.
It's a disastrous start for Team Brooks.
Rocco, if you fail to prepare to fail!
like, it makes you think, like, what's actually happening? Like, there's some lore to this. Like, stuff in Toy Story and Inside Out is kind of different. Apart from the whole Sid with the toys coming to life in Toy Story 1, and that whole shrine they made for Andy in Toy Story 2. But apart from that, it's pretty much like the kids don't know that the toys are alive, so it could just be that it's just like they're inanimate anyway, and then we're just seeing this because whatever. But like in Inside Out, it's different in the way that all the emotions that they trigger, they're not really that random. They're all based off of things that the girl would probably naturally be going through in that moment. Whereas this, they just break all of that kind of stuff. Those toys are fucking alive and they interfere. But with all this stuff is like, thinking about it in a different way. But literally, these mums are racing. And it's like, you could just imagine that in the real world, it's just the mums walking their buggies. But then the mums, like, one goes further ahead. And that wouldn't happen in real life. And so you have to be like, oh, they actually are having a race. The mums are actually aware that they're having a race. It's confusing, but it's funny to think that.
It's a disaster for Team Brooks. He's lost it. He's blown it. He's utterly beaten.
I know I'm not. I can still do this. We're going to use 𝓅𝓊𝓇𝓄𝓅 power.
Yes!
Loose, wait, fast, bingo, engage, heavy metal,
I'm ahead of the pack. The car is whack. You can't beat a car that is powered by rack turbo brew.
And it's win, win, win in the park for Team Brooks against all the odds.
Okay, we won already. Let's eat.
We're champions of the park and the world and the universes.
Be a good sport, Brooks. Be gracious in victory.
Oh, no, I will.
So they win the race and Gonch wins his ice cream anyway, obviously.
And here comes mine. The biggest one they do.
And Budge makes Brooks drop his ice cream.
I'm starving.
What was that? My ice cream! Rocco, give me some of yours.
Not having any of mine.
You're not even holding it right, you raspberry.
And he regrets leaving the house, and this is his catchphrase that he always says.
Why did we leave the house? We should never have left the house. We should have stayed in and watched the telly.
And Budge comes home with jizz all over his face.
What's that on your face? Ice cream.
Why have you got that on your face?
Helping the babies.
Sir, he wasn't helping the babies at all. He just wanted to eat ice cream in the park.
Poppycock popper!
And as always, Major Moustache assumes it's something to do with him protecting the kids, the babies.
The only way to stop the babies racing and ensure their safety was to stop the car itself. And the only logical way to do this was to fill the car with ice cream, which would freeze the engine. So, how did you get the ice cream in the engine, Budge?
With my mouth?
Oh, of course. That explains the ice cream all around your face. Brilliant work, Budge.
But sir!
Pipe down, Private!
By the way, yeah, if this mouse was a woman, we'd be seeing this a lot differently, but yeah, man gets beaten the shit out of in every episode. Like, Private Popper is just Major Moustache's bitch.
Pipe down, Popper!
Very funny, sir.
Stop creeping around me, Private!
He's lying!
Pipe down, Popper!
So we got Brooks. Brooks is basically like... Brooks is just the main character. And it is stuff that Brooks does, Brooks and Rocco both do, that definitely, it doesn't remind you, definitely reminds me of my childhood. Is it just me, or when you were like, at least a toddler, obviously not a baby because you couldn't talk, but when you were a toddler, there were times when either you had a friend who would say something and it was kind of a lie, and maybe you think it was a lie, or you just think it's so outrageous. Like, I've been told when I was in primary school it was a lot like people might come up, friends I had met come up to me and say something, and then obviously I would have believed them, but it's like sometimes looking back it's like, no, they were that's definitely not true, and they didn't know about that, and how could they have known about that? It's like that rumor, it's like rumor stuff. But then there's also times when you might be in primary school or just a toddler, and you are on the other end of that, and you tell other people, like, that was definitely me a lot. Like I told a lot of lies just to seem like I knew stuff, and this is what Brooks does all the time. And you can see in the first episode, I think it's the first episode, ducks, yeah, and even in Dino Town, where he's just telling Rocco about all these types of birds and dinosaurs that he knows. Like, he clearly doesn't know the names, but he's just making up, and that's just like, and especially this bit.
I actually know a lot about ducks. You could say I'm a duck expert.
Oh, what's that one called then?
Steve.
No, I mean, what type of duck is he?
Grey duck. A Diplodocus, a Brachydactyl, a Legosaurus, the Snegonamorasaurus.
What?
Yeah. And the Trinegosaurus pex, which is a meat eater. That's a sparrow water flap. That's a sea pigeon. That's an aqua
More
parrot.
bread, please.
That's a flamingo.
Oh, flamingo, where?
No, you missed it. It's flown away now.
Where are flamingos from?
Africa.
Where's Africa?
By the bench. Over there.
By the bench over there, like that. You can't. That's funny. That's just funny. And Rocco will just believe it, obviously. Except in Dino Town, he understands. You watch this.
Farther back in time we go to the Wild West.
Look out! He's packing heat.
Well, that's just the punk from earlier with different clothes on.
What are you on about, Rocco? They're from different centuries.
See, in this episode, it's like Brooks actually thinks that everything's real, but Rocco's like, no, this is not real. Like, they're going through until the dinosaurs get there, Rocco then believes. But then he sees this one man dressing up through all the different time periods, and Rocco is like, what, excuse me? And so that's kind of his thing is that Rocco is generally like the common knowledge one who knows everything, but then every so often sometimes Rocco has the right idea. But oh my god, yeah, it's the stubborn and the cynicism and just the narcissism that really, I don't know, it just is relatable to me, like me having been that kind of person as a toddler and also knowing those kinds of people. I don't know, there's something about Brooks you just relate to on like a Chandler-esque level. And then Rocco, that's the actual childlike innocence in it. And then you yeah, so then there's a few other people, and there's one episode, Baby Got Talent. Oh, now this is fucking funny.
He's funny. What's this?
Britain's quite talented. Everyone in the country is forced to make a fool of themselves on national TV.
So yeah, and that's the thing. At the beginning of every episode, you always see something on TV, and it's kind of this little window into the TV of their world. But there's also little elements of satire of the real world, and especially like what Brooks says here about everyone in Britain is forced, like forced. Like, that's a funny idea. Like, imagine if everyone in Britain was actually forced to go on national television.
Next up, a butcher who thinks he's got the talent factor.
Oh yeah, come on then, chop chop. Hey Rocco, he's going to butcher this, no mistaking.
All right.
He's going to make a pig's ear out of it.
I've hammed it up. Now I'll stake my claim. I won't mince my words, I must entertain. I feel it in my bones, I was born for fame. Make my
Oh, you thought he was going to be rubbish? Just because he's a butcher doesn't mean he can't sing, bro.
Get off me!
Telly off. Right, we're going to go for a play date to your friend Kelly's house. That'll be nice, won't it?
Play day at Callie's? Count me in. I'll get to see Princess Gaga again. Ah, Princess Gaga.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. There's this other toy called Princess Gaga who lives at Calais' house, and Calais is inanimate. So this is where more lore comes up. Is like, this must mean that the toys only come to life when they're in Brooks's house, and so, like, what? And so it must be some sort of. Oh.
Is Budge coming with us?
Budge? It's just a stupid toy. What's he going to do? Fly up the chimney and magically roll down the roof, use the washing line as some sort of death slide, and bounce onto the trampoline into the car?
Yeah.
Grow up, Rocco!
He does this in every episode as well, obviously. But this is the first time that Brooks acknowledges what Budge could possibly do, which he actually does do.
Well, here we are and off we go. We're down the hill and up the road. Where do we go? We just don't know where we are today. We're turning left, we're turning right.
I feel cosset.
I feel alright. Where we off today? Hey!
We're going to Kelly's house for a placy-wacy day.
Don! Daisy! Kelly! Yeah! Nice rug!
Gee, thanks, Rocco.
Well, soft. Might have a roll on that later, Ralph.
Why don't I sit on the rug? Rocco, why don't you come and hang out here in this thing? Look, waggly, waggly.
And he's just in that. It's unfair, and he's just in that bouncing the entire time.
Oh, sausage!
Yeah, so I sang in front of the judges, and I was filmed and everything. And I must have been really good, because tonight, I'm on the show!
So the babies decide to do Britain's Got Talented in Calais' house because she's going to be on the show.
Welcome to Britain's Quite Talented!
I'll go first. Yeah.
First up is Rocco! What are you going to be doing for us, Rocco?
I'm going to be counting up to 100 really fast.
All the way to 100? Wow! Take it away, Rocco!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 99, 100. Oh, it sounds amazing.
What's happening, UK? I'm going to do some animal impressions and rap at the same time.
Oh, a rap. Who the fuck it?
A rap. Who the fuck it?
Take it away, Ganch!
I'm not even trying when I do the lion. I go roar, 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 roar. It wasn't good. It was absolutely amazing. I put myself through the boot camp.
Yeah.
Next up is Brooks. What are you going to be doing for us, Brooks?
He ain't got no talent.
Come on, Brooks, I know you've got it in you. Do you have it in you?
Not anymore.
Man, there's so much. There's like Will from In Betweeners vibes here. So there's another episode, Market, which if you've ever been to the market as a baby, this is exactly what it's like. Hearing all those Cockney people shouting stuff that you don't understand.
Pound of this for a pound! Pound of this for a pound! Pound of this for a pound! Pound of this for a pound!
What's he selling?
Pandas.
And that guy's familiar, isn't he? I know that guy's familiar. He's in something.
Darling, have a look over it. I got loo rolls,
Squid.
I got
I got light bulb squid.
Squid.
I got nails squid. Squid. What's he selling? Squid.
Oh, they lived in the sea.
No, they live in the
They live in the
market
market with the cockneys and the mussels. And there's- That's not a funny joke? That's not a funny joke? Come at me, that's not a funny joke? That's not a funny joke?
Honey, strawberries are 50p.
Granted, our strawberries are 50p.
What a bargain.
What a bargain.
Oh, look, it's the gun! He knows all about the market.
Put the stuff in a van, drive them, park it, put it on a stall and sell it down a market.
Alright, Gunch.
Can't talk now, lads. I'm trying to sell some stuff on this stall. It's me dad's.
We're looking for some bargains.
You come to the right place. It's all good stuff. You can trust this place. Woo!
The Gonch always has some good verses, man. Oh my god, he's like Becky G if she was actually good.
So you're looking for some bargains then?
So you look over some baggage then.
£9, I can't go any lower. £9 and I can't go any lower.
£9, you're having a laugh. £2 of your pounds.
£9.
£3, and that's my final offer.
£9.
£9. £9. £9 and I can't go on a law. The thing, do you know what though? There's something I noticed. The order the episodes go in is in a weird order. So if you decide to watch this, all the episodes are available on YouTube. If you decide to watch this, you do not want to watch it in the order that it says it's in, because there's an episode called The Sleepover, which I would say, personally, I would say watch that at the very end is all you gotta do. And also, actually no, everything else is fine. Just make sure you watch The Sleepover last. You can watch every other episode in a different order.
Walking Street. Say magnifique. Walking Street. Magnifique. Walking Street. Walking Street. Walking Street.
That's not funny. That's not funny. That. There's a piano bit in the theme song, and Brooks is just there going. That's not funny. Come at me. Ugh. That's not funny. Is that really not funny? Fuck you, man. But no, well, as I was saying, the sleepover. Now, this episode, you definitely want to watch it at the end because it's actually a pivotal moment for Brooks. And so to watch sleepover and then still have more episodes after that kind of doesn't make sense, because throughout the entire thing, Brooks is very cynical and doesn't take things for granted. And in the sleepover, he kind of learns a thing or two. And it's a great episode. Basically, throughout the episode, he goes back through the previous episodes, but instead everyone likes him, and rather than everyone hating Brooks, everyone likes Brooks.
Brooks, you look so nice. So nice, I want to tell you twice. Brooks, you look so nice. So nice, I want to tell you twice. 2 times?
Yeah, above average gangster shizzle. But how about something like this? Brooks, he looks so nice. So nice, I want to tell him thrice 3 times. Yes, feel it. I'm so cool, I make you look a fool. Pa.
I'm so cool, you a fool.
I want to give you my gold chain, because I wish I was you.
Why are you guys so obsessed with Brooks?
I just like looking at him.
I just can't stop staring at you. You're like a work of art.
And it's just funny because it's like that's all he wanted, but then when he gets that, he doesn't like it anymore. And there's a musical about. He also made a musical about me.
Rocco, why did they make a musical about me?
Whoa, what's happening?
Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Brooks the Musical!
How are you so wonderful?
I don't know, but I just am.
You're wonderful.
I know.
No, you're wonderful.
I know.
You're really wonderful.
I know.
You're
that's all. It's so hot, I can't fucking do anything. That's what I'm saying is Big Babies is a show. It's available on YouTube. Just fucking watch it. It's funny to me, so that means it will 100% objectively be funny to you, whoever you are. 5 people who watch my channel. Yeah. If you don't mind, I'd like to get back to my book. Yeah? I just forgot I can't read.